All right, so we are officially in the home stretch for the Mark 1 TT track build. We're going to DAS weekend in 6 days or 5 days from now. It is July 11th today. So we're gonna basically get this thing looking like a full car. As you can tell, we've already got our headlights mounted up because I had to basically put new wiring loom or pigtail or whatever you want to call it, the connectors, into the car. And we got our headlights all cleaned up, which you guys will see in another video because these things were absolutely awful when I got them. But we have found ourselves a front bumper, and this is obviously a Canadian spec because it's got the big, I want to call it like the mustache on it. And we also got our hands in some fender liners because, as you guys saw in the brake video, and obviously the rears aren't on right now, but we don't have fender liners, and that's just another thing that's hopefully going to hide some of the stuff we don't have time to fix before we go to DAS weekend. But that's also kind of why I really like this car, is it looks like a total clapped out piece of shit, but it's also fast and has a lot of go fast parts on it. So it'll just be that much funnier. But let's get the front bumper on and the fender liners in, finish up our last few little bits to make this thing look like a car. Bumper time. Now, this isn't the greatest condition front bumper, but it's better than a lot of the ones that I've seen. So, and for how much I paid, I can't really be upset. Oh, we've got some screws that are still in on both sides here that I'm gonna have to take out. That's probably good for the bumper. Oops. Good thing it needs to be polished, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Let's get the top bolts on. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the tow hook in and that pushed the thing out. Oopsies. We have to find new bolts for the inner part of the fender, but we'll put the fender liners on for now, and then we'll put the bolts that we took off for the retaining clips up in the corner. Bumper's on, it's looking like a car, so now we'll move on to the fender liners and we'll pull the wheel off. Then we're gonna start with doing a little bit of a gravity bleed, just to see how much we can get to force out without having to pull out the vacuum bleeder. Pump it up a bit, and then get it all the way to the top, put a little bit of pressure. Okay, pump it up again. And then a little bit of pressure at the top. And then let me know when you hit the floor. Okay, one more nipple and then we're done. Okay, pump it up. Okay, get it to the top and then a little bit of pressure. Let me know when you hit the floor. Okay, and you're probably good. Thank you.
Yeah, fairly decent pedal.
Yeah, well, and like everybody says with these brakes, the pedal feel is pretty awful because they're ginormous, but nothing you can do about it. So as long as it's like there's brakes, then we're good. I love when wreckers pull everything apart and don't do it properly. It's my favorite. You know what, with the quality of those fenders, I think 3 bolts is probably more than enough. It's a big moment right now. I took a little interlude. Got our exhaust all done. It hangs a little low, so we'll figure that out. Got the rear O2 deleted, but this will be the first time starting it with a technically full exhaust. So let's see if this thing sounds any good and if it'll shoot a flame.
It literally has no, that battery, the alternator can't keep running, I guess. That battery's probably so dead.
Because we had to make a quick trip to the not the hardware store, to Lordco, because our battery was severely dead. So now, and then we can get back to finishing the car. I'm also gonna let it warm up because I need to check to see if our alternator works, because I don't know if it does. I think our alternator is cooked because it is showing. I don't know if you guys can see that. 12.17 volts and the engine is running, which is not good. Should be at like 13.5 to 14.7. But it does come back up to that, so I don't really know. But if I shut the engine off, the battery climbs right back up to 12.5 with the the engine off. So our alternator is likely pooched, but I'm gonna mess around with it and see if maybe I just don't have anything hooked up properly, or I don't know, but we'll see. So funny enough, our stupid little alternator isn't dead, and actually this little silly connector guy here, which is the exciter wire connection to the voltage regulator, in the engine on the harness side or whatever, which is kind of over yonder around this whole cluster of wires underneath the battery tray, was actually disconnected from when I pulled the engine out, so I just had to reconnect that, and now we're all good to go. So let's go for a drive.
First drive vibes, what are you thinking?
I'm stressed the f out.
Don't be stressed, be blessed. Okay.
Turbo's so f***ing loud, do you hear it?
Oh yeah, flutters.
All right, the kind of maiden voyage. I haven't driven with racing seats in a hot minute, or harnesses, so let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try not to pay attention to you guys too much, because I gotta make sure I don't die, you know? We're just gonna stop right here for 2 seconds and have a look at it. Because I have a thought that potentially my, what are they called? The things for my steering, tie rod ends, might not have bolts on them, which would be catastrophically bad. So I'm gonna quickly check. Okay, so we're good. There's no issues there. Let's do this thing. We're not gonna drive her too hard, because I still need to figure out bleeding my ABS, which is probably what we're gonna do as soon as we get it back. Because I have brakes, I just don't have a lot of them. She handles pretty good. It definitely needs a rear sway bar though. I can't tell if the temp gauge is climbing or if it's just a little bit above, reading a little above 90. See if it goes down at all, but I haven't really been paying attention to the temp gauge at all really, so just realized one of my vents is broken and the thing to move it side to side is not there. She smells a little hot, but I'm not too worried about it. It's the first time this bad boy's been out on the road and actually driven kind of far, so I'm not too worried about it yet. My clutch doesn't feel absolutely fantastic, but so much traffic. I don't know why the hell it took me this way. I think my engine mounts are also f***ed. I can feel like every change in the RPM. Might also just be the fact that I have full poly bushings up front now too. Yeah, I think that's just the temp gauge sitting that high. And those were all cops that just drove right past me. You know, my brakes don't feel awful, but they don't feel fantastic. You know, this rear view mirror is also microscopically small. Well, at least I'm wearing in my clutch nice and good, because it says you have to do about 50 kilometers of like regular driving. Yeah, you can really hear the road noise now, just how loud these poly bushings are, I guess. Oh, I do have a bang bang button, hold on. I didn't think I did. It's not a very loud one because I have mufflers and shit, but I haven't seen if I have 6th gear yet, and I do. Nice. All the gears work. Yeah, it drives literally just like a Mark IV. I'm not used to the shifting yet. I haven't driven a manual car in probably like, I don't know, probably like, well, let me rephrase that. I haven't driven a manual car that I've owned in, God, I want to say probably like 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 almost. I'm definitely gonna need to get some seat time. It is not 32 degrees out right now, so that sensor does not work. Yeah, my 5 to 4th shift is not great. Oh, and those feel awful. Driving over railroad crossings, it like hunts all over the place because my alignment is amazing. Oh my God, it's like a Miata. I haven't been able to do this or have my hand on my mirror in a while. And we're gonna detail the shit out of the inside of this thing and put everything else in boxes. Because I have so much crap in this car, it's awful. Yeehaw! How she feels with the windows up. Oh. All right, that window does not want to go up. It's actually pretty quiet in here for having like basically no trunk interior anymore. I wonder why it's fucking tire squealing so bad. That's weird. It's probably just the alignment being kind of fucked, but whatever. One thing at a time, right, folks? My strut mounts, I feel like in the front are also not in good shape. I can hear them. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no, I think I broke it. Feels kind of slow, or it's overheating, but I have no increased temp. So I'm gonna go with vacuum nipple or O2 sensor. Because yeah, at high RPM it's okay. See, because it's gonna hunt for idle the second I clutch in. Ready? Oh yeah, it's trying to die.